has now come down to this. Welcome everyone back to Fuji Speedway, where it all started back in March 2022. Now it's time to close the Hololive GT3 chapter this weekend. After nearly 100 races in Hololive GT3. It's about time we finally put the closing chapter into the series, and in particular the season. As much as it hurts me to say this, but of course we got it's not really that much of a heavy heart though. But anyways, it is race 94 and 95. Although right now it's actually race 94. But anyways, welcome everyone to Fuji Speedway for what will be the penultimate race in the final round of Hololive GT3 425-26. Welcome everyone to the finale 500 in Fuji. And with that out of the way, let's not waste too much of our time and let's take a look into our return to Fuji Speedway on this 4.5 kilometer racetrack, 16 corners, 55 laps with a target lap time 1:38.993. Will we see the lap time targets being beaten? We'll have to wait and see. And let's take a look into the standings, where of course one driver currently rules the roost out of anyone so far. Rustin Carrasco currently has an over 250, I'm not kidding, 250 point lead, and if he does finish inside the podium, we will see the first and potentially only time a Hololive GT3 champion becomes champion with one race to go. But right now, there is still competition from Seirin, Daniel Goyena, and Ali J, which a good result from them will catapult each of them into championship contention. Seirin and Ali J are also in a very much great fight between each other, with of course the two drivers being rivals off of the racing track. Of course, they were basically mates in university, and Kanade and Vivi are also part of the device class, so there is some camaraderie between the two. Seirin, of course, have already won at Fuji Speedway. Sorry, that's the wrong person. That would be Shango and Rudy, but Seirin can pull something out of the hat in that number 59 Ferrari. Of course, she has yet to win a race in Aeroca in this season. The closest she got was a second place in this very track where Rudy won. Sorry, Samiake. And looking at the remaining contenders here, all of the names listed in white are still within championship contention. Those who are not are colored in black, hence what you're seeing here. So we still have Sami Anke, Vladislav Domashnev, who, by the way, is now going to race under a Russian flag from this point on, because the FIA have allowed Russian and Belarusian drivers to race under those flags. So Domashnev will now race with the Russian flag going forward. Daniel Barker will now race for the Belarusian flag going forward. Shango, Raymar Rosales, Shaka Freza, and defending champion Ari Nakamura starts in 10th. Now for Nakamura to try to get something done, of course we're also using the extended points format. Nakamura does need to win, and I hope that the top 5 don't finish inside the top 15 for Nakamura to make a good amount of inroads. It'll still not be healthy, but it's going to be a good try. And then we also got our French contenders, Kaczynski, Duciem, Goodwin, Rudy, Jace Kinsey, Asahi, Kiriko, and Cal Gibbons. They are almost out of the title contention, but they are still mathematically in it. A good result from them, with the leaders having faltered, and by that I mean top 10 faltering. Finishing outside the top 20 will put them within a shot of the championship. But if you look into this consistency between Carrasco and Seirin, they're basically unrivaled by most of the field, except themselves. Also, Goyena, who have also actually won a race, but I do want to point out though that Goyena is no longer in the competition. From this point on, he will be replaced by Eri Shirozaki and Ali J, who will also race as usual. So anyways, let's not waste too much of our time. We're going to get ourselves to qualify, but before that, I just realized that I have not changed Goyena's name. So we're just gonna have to wait for a while before we get it done. Alright, so the names have been changed. We're about to start qualifying pretty soon. So my name is Mama Riza in the commentary booth. And first of all, thank you all for tuning in for today's race at Fuji Speedway. So obviously I am gonna also do some bits of write-up. So might as well just give me a moment while we're about to get the qualifying session underway. Make sure every name is correct. Alright, so every name should be correct and we're now ready to start our qualifying. So the usual format will apply, 7-minute qualifying. It is a one-shot, but with 39 cars currently in the field, it is going to be a massive beehive of sorts. Whew. Alright, so we're just gonna take our time to post. Alright. So we got our first few cars out on the track. We have Mama Cashew, who really haven't had the best of weekends, best of season so far, outside of his third place at Sportsline Sugo. Oh yeah, we were supposed to race at Suzuka. But because of the unresolved issue of pit boxes, we have to, unfortunately, throw in the towel when it comes to hosting at the... We have to, unfortunately, throw in the towel when it comes to hosting the finale at Suzuka. It was supposed to be hosted at Suzuka, but the grid size has become far too large, so there were only like 36 available pit boxes, so we have to also reschedule it, and also the user fatigue as well. So yeah, so much intrigue here, but we're also going to be taking a look at the Vlad Damashnev, our longtime ARO driver who has been racing since 2022. Age 28 if I'm not mistaken. Damashnev is pretty much very much keen to race as usual, as he now comes into the final corner now with his Russian flag. Alright, so exiting to the final corner. It's a great run into the main straight. Of course, the Lexus isn't known for its straight line speed, but it is going to try anyway. Blasting off into this 1.5 kilometer long front stretch. Vlad Damashnev now tries to extend his place, but you can see here at the back, Chaka Labradorus and the Matsuri number 7. Lexus is going to try to get into the inside line, as Damashnev now has to give space, and for that we'll now have to move on to Chaka. And as you can see here, he's not fully clear. I think he has already been fully clear against Damashnev as he now comes to the Coca-Cola corner. 75-meter mark is where you will be braking. Hit the apex, procure as much speed as you can, and then you're coming into 100R, where unfortunately Labradors will now have to face a lot of traffic into the hairpin corner. Try to brake before the billboard up top so that you can have enough stopping power and get a good exit off of 300R. That's what it's supposed to be called. Full blast here until you come into the Dunlop chicane. Use the Dunlop billboard as your braking reference. As we're now seeing the first lap times being set by Jace Kinsai coming into the tight twisty third sector here, turn 12. And you can hear turns 13 and 14. This is one of those 2 points where you have to brake and turn at the same time. And then coming out of here, turn 15 and 16. Brake and turn at the same time once again. Try to get the late apex for that long back straight. And that should be a lap here in Fuji Speedway. Decent lap there from Labradorus. Not exactly what we're looking for. Cabernet Riba meanwhile has set at 139.915. Hanami Kiriko, who is also in their hot laps here. Lexi Bowen sets at 143. 191 will not have a good lap here from what I'm seeing. We're looking for more drivers who are going to set their lap times, and right now there isn't really a lot. Jake Martinez has set at 143.016, which is not exactly ideal. Here's Aquazuri here on her own hot lap. She is currently P35 and is good on her second sector. Obviously she only has like one chance to set it. 142.021, which is not exactly what she's looking for. Meanwhile, Daniel Barger now racing under the Belarusian flag. By the way, we don't set the rules, they do. With Daniel Barger representing the Hoshiomis, who is now going to try to get a good exit off of turn 15 and 16. And it looks to me that he will also get crucial slipstream advantage from that Lexus. Of course, Daniel Barger is racing in the Nissan GTR, which obviously has the fastest straight line speed out of anyone so far with 600 plus horsepower. Oh, 140.022, but it's not gonna be the top 10. Look at how competitive the top 10 is right now. Raymar Gonzalez on pole position with a 138.558. Rustin Carrasco, our championship leader, starts at 39.055. Raymar Gonzalez is nearly half a second faster than anyone so far, and Rosales could actually go ahead and stake his best chance and try to go for his best chance to win for Sharon Uifei for the first time in his career. For the first time in his career, with Sharon Uifei having already won 3 races in Hololive GT3 in 2022 for with Wawan Suharto behind the wheel. And now we're seeing a very good driver ready to stake his claim, and we will have to wait and see about other drivers. Calvin Gibbons has, I believe, has already set his time. He'll start P30, and Tarano starts P4. Azuri starts 29th. Shakif Reza starts P6. Duciem will start in P5. Kiriko will start in P25, racing for the car and team of the 2024 champion. Shango will start P20s too. Nakamura starts P39. Shinozaki in his Hololive GT3 debut will start P38. Isaki Sakura in the ASCII Honda. And I just want to remind you that the Honda has had, what do we call, a renaissance of sorts. Sakura starts 33rd. Barger starts P11. Hoshinari on P37, Sky P17, Fumi 15, the 2022 champion. Samaki, who won here at Fuji in race 1 earlier this year. Alright, so we're just gonna have to do a bit of an intermission as the drivers have now finally come on into the pits. That's everyone. But what a sight. It's an all Nissan front row. Everyone else is still gonna have to go ahead as usual. But anyways, let's all take a breather. And if you have any thoughts in the comments, please share in the chat. I would love to read as much as I can. But anyways, let's not waste too much of our time. Let's take a look into the starting lineup here for our Hololive GT3 race at Fuji Speedway. And this time we're gonna spice things up. Alright, so on the front row, it will be Raymar Gonzalez and Rustin Carrasco on the front 2 rows. And then alongside, that will be them on the front row. With Raymar Gonzalez on pole position, Rustin Carrasco for Lapis starting in second. Sakuramiko entry starts P3 with Nekomata Akayu and Tanaro in P4. Mikolas starting in P3. Manfred Duciem and Momashaki Reza, the 2 Nissans in Gen 5, will start on row 3. For Polka and Energy respectively. The fastest Lexus car wins Rigi starts P7 for Hosha Marine, with Rino Chayas as Ryu starting in P8. P9 will go to Yukara Toga Yukana Lami, with Kamina Riba in P10 for Shishiro Botan, completing the Gen 5 combo. Daniel Barger for Shimachi Suisei starts 11 with Ali J, who has great races in Fuji Speedway as of late, starting 12th for GT3 EVO. Jake Owen starts 13th for Okami Mio, and Aski's Misaki Saka starts 14th. In 15, the 2022 champion, hopefully for Tokyo Sora, with Takane Louis starting P16 for Takane Louis. And Sky starts 17th for Kazuma Iroha with Inugami Korone driver, Austin Wizard in P18. We got Misa Miyasu's is Rudy in 19th, and Todoroki Hajime's is Masaraido in 20th. Seirin starts P21st for Otonose Kanade, with Sean Go starting 22nd for Ichijo Ririka. Just gonna do this. And 23rd goes to Muhammad Cashew for Tsunobuke Watanabe, with Joey starting 24th for Joey. Hanabi Kiriko starts 25th for Himamori Luna, with Joshua starting 26th for Hakui Koyori in the Honda. In 27, it will be Nasira Matsuri and Chakala Bedores in 27th, with Dak Patterson 28th for Isaki Riona. And then we got Aqua Zurich starting 29th for Ozora Subaru, and the lineup alongside her will be Callan Gibbons on 30th for Roboco. Row 16, Vlasa Domashnev for Akira Zontal, with Raji Kaczynski 32nd for Yusuke Choko. 33rd goes to So Byung-eun for Kogaini Nico, with Sami Aki 34 for Shirakami Fubuki. Jay Martinez in 35th for Tokiyami Towa, with Lexi Bones 36 for Shirakani Noel. 37 will have to go to Hoshizuna Rio for Nakiri Ayame. And 38th, Eri Shinozaki in his Hololive GT3 debut for Osara Pecora. And 39th place will be Aoi Nakamura for Akai Hato. Alright, so we got the grid now basically set. We're now about to start our first of our two races here in Fuji Speedway to conclude Hololive GT3 for 25-26. We have two Nissans on the front row, one for Raymond Gonzalez, who have had wins evaded from him multiple times over, has had a poor season in Holo Proto. But let's see if he can get Shiranui Flair her first win in 4 years. Can Rustin Karashio win for the first time since 24-25 and try to get closer to the title? We'll have to wait and see, with his competitors faltering at the back of the grid. Alright, so we got all of our grid ready for the first of 255 lap races here in Fuji Speedway. We got results on pole position, and we are off here in Fuji Speedway. And we got poor starts for the Nissan, and it looks to me that, oh, we got cars having a bit of an issue. That's Sobyung-eun, it looks like, but I think everyone's gonna go pretty much okay so far, as everyone will look to survive turn 1. Everyone just going pretty comfortable here into the first corner. Everyone looking to have survived. Safety cars already peeled in, as we're now about to see Karashio now take the lead away from Raymond Gonzalez, as we saw. Now Mikolev in P3, Shagareza P4, and Tannerov 5th, Ryu in 6th, Duciem 7th, Richie in 8th, Riba in 9th, and Yukihara Toka has now beaten Daniel Barger for the top 10. We go further back, we are seeing some changes in position. We got Kiriko up in 27 here, beating Cal Gibbons, past champions in terms of cars, now going at between each other. We also have the likes of Samiaki doing his job. Wizard in P15, doing pretty okay right now in car number 56 for Inugami Korone. Looking good job here, as everyone will now try to make their way. Sakaji Mikkel is also doing a very good job here, now in P3, trying to keep tabs of the Nissan. Masarida, meanwhile, on his battle against his fellow Device and Regloss teammates. And right now, we are just gonna have a bit of an intrigue to see here. And now we're seeing drivers trying to find ways here. We have Masaraido trying to go something against Joshua Asahi. Meanwhile, we also have Seirin trying to make moves. Jack Madison has been overtaken from what I'm seeing here. Drops down to P26 as the first lap has concluded. So Byung-eun having massive issues with his car right now. Currently occupying P39, and looking to lose a lot of time in the process. So we are in for a pretty long race here at Fuji Speedway. Meanwhile, looking into the rest of the field, Rio looking to find a way past Martinez, but he is going to try to make the move down the inside regardless. Now there is a bit of a revival here in terms of Rasho now continues the fastest allowed of this race. Daniel Barger have now made just recently made his move against Kamen Rider, who now drops down to P11. Sakura now pretty much spurred on from Aski's recent Origin Idol outfit appearance from last July, is now looking to have a good climb here. Imagine Sakura wins a Hololive GT3 race for Aski. It will be pretty much cinema and pretty much befitting of, you know, based on what happened in recent times. So we're just gonna take a look here as Sakura continues to... Ooh, there's a battle for the back here, and that is Kensai versus Fumi. So it's a microcosm of what Hololive GT3 has been all about. It's about GT3 competitions mixing up with Hololive's idol performances, specifically when they were using the Origin Idol outfits. And obviously we are seeing interesting movements here. Jace Kensai and Hofumi have just traded places between each other. And right now we are seeing no pit stops just yet. Rilio and Daniel Barger, meanwhile, are going to duke it out for P10 with Rilio around the outside to try to give a lot of challenge there to Barger, but Barger just has the positional advantage. He now goes up to P9. Kiriko, meanwhile, is also doing very well in race pace, having now moved up into P21. Oh, we got Kaminari Reba, who just, on which we just found out that Reba has an engine failure. Don't believe me? Take a look here. Engine failure for Kaminari Reba, so it's very much unfortunate. And right now, oh, we got more drivers who have already retired, and that's Daniel Barger. Unfortunate. So it just happened. So you might want to excuse it for this one. So here's the case for Barger. Oh, yep, engine failure for Barger, and that is gonna be a massive, massive gut punch. And Shakireza also pitting early, from what I could tell, if you want to know what happened. We are seeing some Nissan coming into pit early. Unfortunately, this means Chemflummi will have to make multiple stops as a result of him pitting early. Blame Mercedes Corsa for that. Same goes for Ed Sky. As we expected, he's now had put 5 laps worth of fuel, so he's gonna pit at least 3 to 4 times. I think that will be him out of the race at this point. Hate being blunt, but that's the truth. Oh, we got another driver. Oh, it's Rustin Carrasco. Rustin Carrasco has had issues. Rustin Carrasco, our championship leader, has issues. He has had an engine failure. The championship leader with over 250 points a gap. Now having an engine failure. The engine failure just keep coming. And unfortunately, it has come to possibly the worst person to have ever had it. Rustin Carrasco now out of the race 1 of the finale 500 at Fuji. Is now going to mean Raymar Gonzalez will have a 5-second lead over Isagaji Mikolev. Dramatic stuff here. 4-hour battle for the championship. Unbelievable. Raymar Gonzalez is going to be absolutely gleaming of this opportunity because now he has a chance to try to bring home. And he comes into pit. He comes into pit. And it looks like he'll go the way of Chemflummi and co. Because he pitted way too early and fueled way too little at the start. He's going to be doomed to make 3 to 4 pit stops. Unfortunate. So yeah, he'll make at least 2 to 3 more pit stops. Be down in mid-pack, having to make a lot of pit stops here. Because the ideal fuel loss will be somewhere around 90 liters of fuel before you start. So that you can make only like 1 stop. That's what Aquazuri, Lexi Bowen, Yuki Aratoka, Hanami Kiriko are doing right now. Seirin, Misaki Sakura, Masaraido, Dak Patterson, So Byung-eun, Ri Liu. That's what they're doing right now. And now the lead has changed hands to Isagaji Mikolev. Now leading in Hololive GT3 for, I believe, to be the first time since 2023 when he won at Autopolis. So much intrigue from this race. Still a massive amount of questions to be had, but also we are looking at Ali J, who I believe started from 21st, now climbed herself all the way up into P7, on which she's absolutely relishing this opportunity. Could she bring Kiara Vivi with the first win in aero competitions for Hololive GT3? Kofumi, meanwhile, is going to go into the pits. We are seeing a massive pack of cars here in mid-pack. Mikolev now having a now losing time actually against Antanarao. So Antanarao doing okay, so Raymar Gonzalez has now got up into P32nd. Lots of, you're already seeing 3 retirements due to engine failure. Gibbons, sorry, no, is it Callum Gibbons? No, it's Reba, Carrasco, and Daniel Bogger. And they're out. Meanwhile, Gibbons and Nakamura, another battle between former champions. Although it looks to me that Nakamura is on her way out as well. Most likely she won't be the one that will be champion. But for Ali J, who have now moved up into P6 as more drivers come in for their pit stops. Still pretty much a question mark as to how the races are gonna play out. Antara, meanwhile, is slowly catching up to Mikolev. Antara, who, to my knowledge, last won for Okayu in Holoproto World at Altopolis. He also won in the, no, he only won in Holoproto. He won at Altopolis and Le Mans. And we're also seeing Joey getting overtaken there by Labradores, who now moves up into P7, or at a P22. Right. So the new fast stop has to go to Moshak and Freza, but it'll all be for naught as you'll have to make another pit stop. Alright, so we are now seeing Koge and Nico now being the last of the drivers who have yet to make a pit stop, now overtaken by Rosales, who probably is going to get some consolation from this one. He is not that far, but again, he has to make 3 more pit stops. Meanwhile, Antara getting very close there into Mikolev. He might not just need a good exit though. Because he does have that straight line speed, as we now see Toka now going down the inside of Lorenzo Ricci to go up into P3. Meanwhile, we have Ali J being squeezed by Ri Liu at the main straight. It's a pretty much dangerous move all around, but Ali J is going to have to try to force the issue and make her presence known, as she is somewhat struggling to get the exit done. She has been very strong at Fuji Speedway. Now, if she does win here in Fuji Speedway, then it will be Kikirara Vivi who wins against Kanade for the race for their first Hololive GT3 wins. Olosarian has won already in Holoproto and Formula Hololive. DCF now has the fastest lap, but it probably doesn't matter anyway, as now we see Toka trying to challenge Antara this time for P2. This is a pretty much intriguing contest, as we've established earlier. But the gaps drop down between Mikolev and Taro, and conversely, it's at Sector 3 and not in Sector 1. And by Sector 3, I mean before turn 16. And right now, Toka is going to keep tabs of the front 2 of both Antara and Mikolev. As we now see Ed Sky making his pit stop again. And you can see here how much of an advantage that exit had, that Sakura, the Mikolev has on his exit off of the final corner. As now we see Toka going down the inside of Antara into turn 1, and now coming into Coca-Cola corner, it will be Toka this time, who now moves up into P2. Right now we have another driver who has not won. We have had another VTuber who has not won since 2022, and right now Antara's not going to give this one up, because he's not going to retake second place with a dive bomb down the inside at the hairpin corner. And Antara takes second place away from Toka right now. And still going to be a massive question mark as to how they will handle this one, as Toka tries to find a gap, but just could not find a space. So we have P2 up to P20, P21, or rather, around until P20, who is 20 seconds behind the leader. So There are going to be a lot of issues with lap cars. But the battle for the lead of the race has been very tight here in Fuji Speedway. And now McLaren is going to try to see out and Tanaro. Jiskin side now going side by side with Liu into turn 1. He has now gone alongside and is most likely going to seal off the pass. The NSX being very nimble in the corners. And also their potential top speed is also nothing to scoff at. Hana Mikiriko has now moved up into P11 now against the driver that she started alongside with on the same row, Joshua Sahi for Hakuri Koyori. Weirdly enough, Koyori has never won a Hololive GT3 race. 10 of the 12 Hololive members with Corset tops. Oh, this is what we mentioned earlier. Duciem and Rosales have it to pit once again because they pitted way too early and have fueled way too little at the start. It's crazy that we've already passed through the first fifth of this race. 20% of the race is about to elapse. And the story remains the same, and Tanarao still chasing Isekai Mikalev for the race lead, but he has not been able to get close enough. And as you can see here, Antaro actually has the advantage on the straights. Looking at how he's able to pull away. Here's Jason Tsai once again, this time on Ali J. Or rather on, on Ali J, potentially on Lorenzo Ricci as well. Could he make a dive on the inside? He has to chicken out. He's not actually chicken out because he's actually reaffirmed his position. Now drops Ali J down into P6. Oh, and Liu has issues. Rather, that's him going into the pits. I can't tell what happened to Liu. Could it be that Liu have also had engine issues? Also, I wanted to give a bit of a context here. Aqua Zuri's weekend, rather day, has come to an end, at least a few laps ago. If you want to know why. Engine failure. Engine failure for Aqua Azuri, which is a massive shame. Azuri, meanwhile, in P18. So we don't have a lot of. We still have a lot of runners, but the DNFers are stacking up. Shakureza now has the fastest lap, 1:37.686. So the Mashnev has also retired from what we're seeing here. Have to double check where the Mashnev was. So what happened to our driver here? So here's why. Another engine failure. A big shame there. But anyways, we do have a race going on, and we are going to see Kinsai trying to get up into P4 against Lorenzo Ricci. Apologies for the Kinsai now keeping himself wits about it as he drops into this one. Oh, Joshua Asahi, and Jake Martinez. And, sorry, Austin Wizard in the pits. Now they have their lights on. As we're now seeing Fumi making his pit stop again. Alright, so it's a routine stop for Wizard and Asahi. And it looks to me that they will not go ahead with the race. Wizard as well, so they are gonna go for a two-stop strategy. We'll see how it goes for them. Now down into P29. UCM now has fastest lap, 1:37.534. So great stuff there. Yeah, well, the deadlock can't be broken between Mikolev and Antanarau. And so this time, Antanarau has a very much closer run into Mikolev. Once again, having great exit after great exit. Meanwhile, Fumi drops down into P32 with Duciem having gone up there. Sakura's rise continues with her going up into P5. It feels like you just don't know who's going to win this race because it's a close battle between the top 5. Three Hondas and 2 Nissans. This is essentially one of Honda's home grounds when it comes to racing circuits other than Suzuka. Or I could be perfectly lying. As Kinsai now goes up into P3, now going down the inside of Toka. The Louis Tomo now looking to extend his lead and looking to get closer and closer into the top 2. Whoever wins this race inside the current top 5 is gonna end up becoming a popular win. Jace Kinsai as the longest serving Takagi Louis driver has had wins in Hololive Proto as well. On the same weekend, Antanarau won. Dropping down into P7. We're going up into P6. 14 laps complete here in Fuji Speedway. Kiriko now moves up into P8. Ali J's tires are now starting to look pretty shot. All the while, Antanarau looking to find something against the guy Mikolev. You can see here, weirdly enough, the Nissan has this better high speed, potential here, and right now we're looking at Antanarau getting up close and personal there with Mikolev, but nothing to note as of yet because Antanarau still in P2 and Mikolev is still in the lead. The gap between the leaders tells a different story because Sakura is only under 4 seconds behind the leader. So that's the top 5. And now we're going to try to see Antanarau if he can try to go down the inside or have a great exit. Oh, well, he needs to have a great exit first. And he does have a decent exit, but the Hondas just continue to mock the Nissans. It's a slipstream train. And right now, Antanarau is forced to watch as it continues to unfold. are not yet into the... Oh, we're seeing Audi J and Hanami Kiriko now going down the inside. They also have their own history between each other. And now Hanami Kiriko goes up into P8. Out of the past champions, Hanami Kiriko's car is doing the best. Give it to 31st. Hopefully down outside the top 30. Nakamura, I believe, is still within the top 20, if I'm mistaken. And here come the lap cars now. Shaki Freza about to cause issues to Dak Patterson, Sean Go, Samiaki, Jay Martinez, and Iron Nakamura currently running in P17 has some damage in front of her, which is a bit of an interesting sight. Alright, so let's see if there's going to be something of note. I feel like Kinsai is going to try to make a move. Or rather, Kinsai is going to have to... Well, he's going to try to make a move here against Antanarao, because Antanarao has failed to make the pass onto Mikolev. Josh Asahi has cleared So Byung-eun. Wizard and Fumi about to clear him soon. Oh, that's a late braking there from So Byung-eun. And that's gonna cause damage to Joshua Asahi. Asahi's gonna try to report this to race officials. And Tara, meanwhile, in P2, having managed to defend against Kinsai for now. I feel like the pit wall is gonna ask for the two to switch places, but will we actually see that? Because Kinsai is within championship contention and Tanarao is out of it. Oh, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Actually, no, I am not. Tanarao is indeed out of title contention. Kinsai is still within it. Now Kurashio out of the equation and not set to score points. This is going to be a massive change in the equation. For the championship, Seirin is currently running in the top 30. Even then, to overcome a 250-point swing, Seirin needs to be 6 or higher. And to overcome a 300-point swing, you need to be in the top 5. And right now, Shinozaki is currently in P10. Ali J is currently in P9. So they're not going to overcome the deficit just yet, but they are going to halve it. So, and now we have Kinsai trying again on a Tanarao down the inside in the turn 1. Kinsai doing a very good job here for Takane Louis as he now tries to beat Antanarao to second place, and he does, and we'll now have to wait and see if the Louis representative driver can get something done against the Sakura Miko entry of Mikolev, who's looking for his first win, and Miko cheats his first win since 2023 in October at Autopolis. Right, we're gonna take a short break. Again, trust the mind and soul. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll only be out for like 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you. Alright, we might have to go back early here because Jason is going to try to go around the outside of Mikolev. This is the closest challenge that Mikolev's ever had so far. But is Kinsa going to go down the inside? The answer is going to be no. Failed is a role reversal between the Nissans and Honda. This time we're seeing the Nissans be so good in the corners. But the Hondas looking to have their advantage on the straight. Still a question mark to right here. There's we'll have to wait and see how it goes. We're not going to be likely to see Kinsai go down the inside against Mikolev just yet. Meanwhile, in other news, we are seeing Fumi go into the pits again. As they keep losing time. Not sure why he needs to do that again. And as you can see here, the Hondas have made so much inroads at the straight, it's just crazy. We're going to be seeing Kinsai going to try it again. Front Honda R seems to be the Honda's weak spot right here. But right now, Mikolev is going to keep it steady. We are now at 19 laps complete. Oh, some slight smoke there from Mikolev. But right now, nothing to note so far, as we're now seeing more changes in the grid here. As we're now seeing Kinsai for Takanilo still doing a pretty good job here in second place. And now we're seeing more pit stop activities from the back. The top three have remained unchanged. Toka, Sakura, Kiriko have now gone on into the pit box. Alright, gonna go take the Alright, so not much of a change here, but Kinsai has taken the lead. I do want to point out this one. So if you want to know what actually happened there, we will take a look here. So Mikolev had been in the lead for up until this point. So again, apologies if we missed that one, as I am pretty much resting. But so this is where, so it was results applying the pressure and then going down the inside to take the race lead. So great move there from Kinsai to finally take the lead that he may deserve. But I do want to point out though about Kinsai. He is going to pit soon. He will be pitting in 8 laps, almost in, slap bang in the middle of the race. And for Mikolev, he will be pitting very much later. So We will have to wait and see if the undercut or overcut strategy will be the case. As we've seen here, McLaren now finally comes in for his pit stop. With 18 laps of field to go, but never mind that. So just inside, so Mikola having already been overtaken is gonna go for an undercut strategy. So what he's gonna do, he is gonna have to try to make a pit stop so that he doesn't have to make it again. So he doesn't have to do it again later in the race. Hope that he exits in clear air. Which is gonna be very difficult. Probably the time is staying absolutely right. And once he does have clear air, set faster laps than Kinsai and Antanaro. And when they pit, hopefully you will be ahead. So, Mikolev is now looking to get himself out. He will be in P23 as a result. So 21 laps complete, and we're gonna take another short break. Hopefully you won't be missing too much of the action, even if there's gonna be won't be missing out on commentary. But I think it might be better this way because you might want to hear the sound of engines as the races continue. Sakura have now gone out in what looks like P26. Interesting, but she will not be pitting for the rest of the race, so that will be a big plus. But she is ahead of Antaro and Kinsai, which are the two leaders, so she's about to get lapped. But she can set faster lap times. I think it will be a good job for her. So 140 for lap 19. Kinsai could set 39s and 38s, so that's gonna be a big oof. So yeah, Kinsai has overtaken Sakura to put her lap down. While looking at the rest of the field, the device class cars are absolutely enjoying the track position right now. Ollie J now in P3, also right in P5, Dak Patterson P6. Oh yeah, we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna explain all this later, but yeah, we're gonna take a short break. Hopefully you don't have to go anywhere. We'll come back in a few minutes. Take care and stay tuned. Alright, back into this race, and more drivers have already made their pit stop. This means that the shuffle has meant that Ryu is now in the lead of this race, ahead of Masaraido and Dak Patterson, which makes it an all-device top 3. So tons of changes right now, but we are going to be paying attention to one Jace Kinsai and Al Santaro, whom, as we've seen, have already made their pit stops. And crucially here, Santaro has gone ahead, or rather has had a slower pit stop than Kinsai, which Kinsai is now up into P7. And from what I'm seeing, Kinsai will go ahead and continue for the rest of this race. Shakarisa has been has moved the Ryu out of the way, and this allowed Maserati to take the lead. And that person goes down the inside for P2 against Ryu. And note that the top 3 right now has yet to make a pit stop. Actually, the top 5 and 6 have yet to make a pit stop. The top 3 could pose a potential series threat. And meanwhile, we're looking at Ali J, who have yet to make a pit stop. Actually, no. Ali J will actually go ahead and run the same thing for the rest of this race. So she's now up into P6, so she is in the same strategy. So she's basically equal on strategy with Jace Kinsai. Kinsai, meanwhile, does have fresher tires. And now Kinsai right behind the Lambo. And he's not going to try to make it go down the inside. This is potentially a move for the race lead here. Jace Kinsai going down the inside into turn 1. Here, Ali J is going to try to get a good exit off of turn 1 around the outside, but it will because it will be the inside line at Coca-Cola corner. Could Ali J hang on? The answer is going to be no. Jace Kinsai has the lead, but you can see here, not content with having already made the pass onto Jay. He's going to try to make the pass onto Shango as well, and this time it's way more effortless than it should be. So Kinsai goes up into P4. So right now, Kinsai is looking very fancy to get his first Hololive GT3 win for Takani Louis. Looking into our retirement so far. Still pretty much a question mark as to how it's going to be. Sakura dropped down to P24. But we are now coming into the halfway stage of this race. The halfway stage as Dak Patterson and Ryu are about to trade places once again as Maserati continue to hang on to this race lead. Kinsai, meanwhile, has been pulling away, has shown to be a class above the rest. Kiriko and Yukara Toka, meanwhile, have traded places. They are Kiriko now in 27th, Toka in 28th. Alright, so 26 laps complete. Will there be any more pit stop activity other than the drivers have already retired? The answer is most likely going to be no. AJ will go ahead until the rest of this race. Same goes for So Byung-eun. Rudy is now moved up into P13. Looking to dice things with Antara, who has had a slow pit stop from what I could tell. Martinez will make his pit stop. Jake will make his pit stop later. Bowen will have to make another pit stop. Kaczynski as well. Kinsai will be pretty... actually, just to take a look at Kinsai, it might actually have to make one more pit stop from what I could tell. Yeah, I think he has to make one more pit stop. Because it will be pretty much a hairy situation for the Louis driver, because he might need to make 2 pit stops. LEJ doesn't need to make any more pit stops. So the race is still pretty much out in the open. As for Tannerau, as Rudy now clears Serin. Rudy's almost out of gas. Serin is pretty much out of gas and is going to have to go into the pit box as well. Gonzalez comes in for yet another pit stop. Nakamura's good for the rest of this race. And Tannerau is not good for the rest of this race either. None of the Nissans are, honestly. It was pretty much cruel for Horacio, who came into this weekend as a driver to beat, but now he's had a pretty huge setback. Alright, so 28 laps complete. We are now past the halfway stage here in Fuji Speedway. The race has essentially calmed down right now, as does the viewer base. I don't blame them. Anyways, it is a pretty decent bumper crowd here. Multiple fans in attendance. As we are just gonna check the rest of the field. Looks like Deuce TM is in his pit box as well. Attendance looking very strong here in Fuji to see these Hololive GT3 cars for about the final time. Meanwhile, Shango going side by side with Raiji Kaczynski. And he's got damage on the front end as well. Some of these drivers having misjudged braking was hitting other cars at the back. Meanwhile, as they're not coming into the third sector, 12, 13, 14. Still pretty much question mark as to how they handle their things. Joey and Richie both team up to get themselves ahead of Shango at the final corner. Masaraido, the local driver, is doing very good right now, looking for his first win in the competition. Having never won since 2023 when he agreed to personal terms to race for Todoroki Hajime. He is still doing very good right now. He's currently in the lead. Patterson for Riona exits in P16. He will have fresh tires, and currently behind him are 2 lap cars, Chigavisa and Sami Ake. But ahead of him is a driver for position. That's Irie Nakamura in P15. Still pretty much no telling as to how the championship will conclude. Oh, we're just seeing side by side action between Shakib Reza and Ake. So, nothing. Alright, so Sobyung against Martinez. That's that. Alright, so Mikalev has just passed Antanarao in a bit of a karmic action here, but Antanarao is gonna fight one back around the outside in another karmic sense. Mikalev now going down the around the outside as Antanarao goes down the inside of turns 13 and 14. And now into 15 and 16. Antanarao now going to see if he can get himself into a position. Yes, there he is. Kinsai is now in P2, but he's probably going to have to make another pit stop. Tsugaji Mikalev is going to be good for the rest of this race. So there's going to be lots of switching up between positions so far. As Mikalev tries to get very close there. Oh, has to do some extra braking there to not hit Ricci over there. Oh man, 32 laps complete already, and Antanarao looking to sweep into a move against Shango. Antanarao, move done for the Onigiria, who has been racing in your competition since 2023. And we are now also taking a look into Martinez, trying to find a way past Ricci for P33. Right now we are seeing Ricci still also getting moves done against Shango or Martinez. Martinez remains steadfast in his defense and his positioning. So drivers coming in for their pit stops, that will be Rudy for Mizumiyasu and Hofumi for Tukinosora. Fortunately for him. So the complexion at the front has now changed a lot since what we saw from 15 laps ago. Masaraido will pit in the next 10 laps or so. Kinsai will probably need to pit with 3 to 2 laps to go, or maybe on the final lap. He might give it a try in terms of like field mileage. Ollie J is not going to pit. So and also we got Jake Goodwin, who's also in the hunt to win because he got fresher tires. Same goes for Antanarao. So any one of these drivers winning would mean a feel-good win of sorts. Alright, 33 laps complete, 60% race distance complete. So we still have only 5 retirements. Oh, and Shango is now going to go in to have his pit stop. Labradores against Ri Liu for P13. Patterson also now trying to get close there to what looks like the lap car of Lexi Bowen. Oh no, Lexi Bowen is not lap, sorry. Alright, so here comes Patterson around the outside against Liu. Both of the drivers in opposite ends as far as 1.5 years ago. Still doing pretty good. Right now, Patterson now moving up into P12. So Maserati expected to pit around lap 40 to lap 43. Kinsai expected to pit. Maybe if he does a bit of field saving, he might just be able to carry on. But this will mean losing a lot of time. Here's that Patterson coming into Lexi Bowen to move up into P10 or the P11. He still hangs on to that P10 spot right now. Alright, so the leaders is Gap and Tyrell is 43 seconds behind. Goodwin's 27 seconds behind. Ali J, who is also a real shot to win in her third try in New Machinery. So Maserati finally comes in for his pit stop. So Kinsai now retakes the lead of this race. So 20 laps to go here in Fuji Speedway today. Alright, so Lexi Bowen has now come in for her pit stop. More drivers having made their pit stops already. Ray Gonzalez, who had been at the front on pole position, now is 2 laps down. So a lot of new Nissans are experiencing a bit of shortfall. That's Samiake in P9 for Fubuki, doing a very good job right now. Yep. But remember, Kinsai might actually have to make one more pit stop. If you look at the race field monitor, just wanted to double check what's going on. Kinsai, 16 laps of fuel to go. 37 plus 16 would be 53. So he will be 2 laps short of fuel. Ali J is fuel to the brim and is set to not pit. But assuming her pace does fall off, then Jay Goodwin is ready to catch. And by that, I mean looking to his previous thoughts, 140s all across the board. but Ollie J is just consistently faster. Tanaro consistently faster than Goodwin and Tanaro, but I feel like if there's someone who's able to catch Kinsai, it's going to be Ollie J. Jake Martinez now comes in for his pit stop. So it is going to be a pretty much a question mark right now. Alright, so back in the situation here. The gap's now opened up to 10 seconds between Jay and Kinsai, but remember the overarching condition here. Kinsai is not fueled to the brim. He's not fueled till the end of this race. Meanwhile, Nakamura is going to go down the inside of Sami Ake. Great move there from the Hachama driver as they're now coming into the main straight. But Sami Ake tries to stick it around the outside, but looking at the Honda NSX, that's a great straight line there from the NSX. Nakamura is absolutely flying by. Goodwin is actually reeling in on Ollie J slightly. Goodwin's his last lap 142.21. Jay's last lap he has a 139.561, so okay, I might actually be lying that one. But I think also another underlying data is that Jay Goodwin is currently being hounded by a driver who is already 3-4 laps down, and that is Raymond Gonzalez, who, of course, as I mentioned earlier, started on the front row, started on pole position, but alright, so 37 laps complete. 18 laps to go. Oh, Goodwin has had a call to go into the pits that will allow Antara to move up into P3. Mikolev will be set to move up into P4. Masarida will have a good run into P5. And I just wanted to note here, the BMW is going to look for his, a solid result for the first time since Fuji Speedway Race 2, where he finished 4th. But he gets overtaken by Nakamura. Talk about a double overtake from what I saw. Kinsai's gap to Jay have opened up, but Ali J has been setting 139.5s and 135.6s. Kinsai starting to lose some time, and this is in addition to his pit stop, pit stop kerfuffle. Goodwin's up into P19. Jay's gap to Antana out 26 seconds. Masaraido now dropping down continuously. This time against Sami Ake. This time he doesn't have the pace that he has had before. Now his fuel loads drop down to Nakamura in P5, Mikolev P4. Now the gap's opening up to 12 seconds. 140.8, the last lap from Ali J. Gets us at the 3.623. Seri meanwhile goes up into P25 against Raj Kaczynski. So as it stands right now, DCM, Rosales, Shakafreza, Ed Sky, Damashev, Azuri, Horacio, Barger, and Reba. They will not score points. Meanwhile, Joshua Sai is about to beat Rudy for 12th place. Enrico goes in for another pit stop with 16 laps to go. Right now we could be seeing either Jace Kansai or Ollie J take the checkered flag here in Fuji Speedway for race 1 of the finale 500. A 140.1, still no match for Kinsai right now. Goes up into B4. Okay, as well, that we want to know why. Mikola has now gone into the pits for a second time. Meanwhile, Dak Patterson now side by side with what looks like Ri Liu. He's going to make a move down the inside with 15 laps to go. Dak Patterson with a great run off of turn 1. He's going to try to go around the outside into Coca-Cola corner, and there he almost went, but Ricci with a great traction and grip to try to carry a lot of speed even in an unfavorable line. He manages to stay ahead of Patterson, but for now. But yeah, he was trying to pass Ricci, but 41 laps complete, and we're gonna take one short break again before we get back into this race. We hope everyone can stay tuned and just don't go anywhere, because we might have a very interesting finish onto our hands. We have an interesting finish on our hands, so stay tuned. back at Fuji Speedway, and we now still have Jace Kinsai in the lead. Shinozaki has now gone on into the pits. We are now seeing much of the previous guys at the front of the pack from our device class having already made pit stops. Someone's absolutely on the chart. Dag Patterson's on P9. Ali J still losing a decent amount of time against Jace Kinsai. There's still the slim hope. There's still the hope that Kinsai will not be able to make it in fuels. Also looking into Antaros' pace as he's not matching or exceeding Jace. So this most likely would mean that Ali J could be on course to become a Hololive GT3 race winner. Wait a second. That's supposed to be part of the plan? But I don't know. But we're just gonna see how it goes. See how everyone goes. Patterson now moves up into P8, having made the move against Ricci. Rudy, meanwhile, is gonna try to get into the inside line of Liu. And there goes Rudy. Oh. Rudy also with can I say historic season for Floglo? Because right now we are just gonna check here about Ali J, who has been close to a race win in 3 occasions. A win here could potentially mean she will be in the championship lead. I'll tell you this, Hikaru Vivi is absolutely racing as if she deserves to be at the top. Now looking into the remaining parts of this race, Kinsai is still in the lead right now, 60 seconds of a gap. Jay is at 16 seconds of a gap. So we got a train going through. Everyone's just gonna try to conserve and just take it easy. They want to try to carry as well, not exactly. They are just gonna try to last the field. Right now it is still a very interesting proposition. We already had Floglo winners in the competition right now in the form of Rudy, and from what I could tell, yeah, already have won in an Audi. We have a recall winner in Sean Go. Everyone else is your traditional Honda, Lexus, and Nissans. And right now this is going to be a interesting proposition an interesting development for the race for the Hololive GT3 Japan Series title. If Ali J can get it done, it will be fireworks, if you will. And you can't say it hasn't been deserving, because she has to find a way to get that car running. It's not like the car even dominated, so it is going to be a case of a job well done to a relatively new coming entrant looking for her first win in ARO competitions. And right now, Kinsai still in the lead right now. And it's also a good case of a parity because, well, we got Ali J, who's still doing a pretty much good job. She's doing a very good job right now, currently in control. Looking into Kinsai's fuel loads, it is pretty much suspicious because you're looking at a gap that is the fuel load that's ever shrinking. So, I mean, yes, there is a what do we call there is a case to be made that there's currently a train of cars, but right now, the more important, the more pressing matter in this equation is currently in the form of Ali J, who could get her first win in ARO competitions if she can get this thing done right. But of course, it is not set in stone yet. Still, so many things that need to be considered before Alright, so gaps increase absolutely exponentially, and Tanarao and Kinsai now having to deal with lap cars. The gap's now opened up to 28 seconds. That Patterson looking very good in P6. Masarai is still good in P5. Reggie doing very good in P7. The Hondas have now basically disappeared from the map, but they could try to climb themselves back up because they still have to make pit stop because they now have fresh tires. As it stands right now, it will be... Well, the three Nissans will have to make pit stops, so it will be a very huge win for the device class, especially Flow Glow, with 2 of the 3 drivers set to be in P3, and assuming the 3 Nissans make their pit stops. This will also mean that Patterson will be in P3 once again! Once again! I don't know what to say, but if he does get a P3 again, it will be a very interesting thing here. And so right now we are just gonna have to pay attention because Sami Aki is about to be in the pits pretty much soon. He could be in the pits. He could not be in the pits, but right now we are seeing Sami Aki finally peel into the pit lane right here. Masaraido will look to go up into P4 as it stands. Now we're just waiting for Kinsai and Antanarao to make their pit stops. Ollie J, two times he has tried to win at Fuji Speedway in this season and has failed. And now she's coming in oh so close to finally get it done. Kinsai to pit in 3 more laps, and Tanarao to pit in 2 more laps. This will be Ali J's moment to remember. Alright, we are now into our final 5 laps of race 1 of the finale 500 in Fuji. Now the big question is alright, so Kinsai still currently in control and Tanarao is now being called into the pits. So there's him now finally coming in. And right now, Kikirara VV is potentially waiting for this moment to come, as her driver might just come, for her driver to come into the finish line. And right now, we've had Subaru take, we've had multiple drivers, we've got drivers taking wins in Hololive GT3. And now we're seeing Antanarao, who was one of them in Holo Proto. Well, it's not going to take one today, but he will try tomorrow. But as far as championship is concerned, ever since Caraccios' retirement, it is now championship is now turned well on its head. With currently, which currently we're looking at Ali J at the precipice of great moments here, as she's currently steering her Huracan. Alright, 51 laps complete. Antaro's now out of the equation. Raido now up into P3. Patterson now up into P4. Right now, Kinsai is about to be called into the pits. He currently leads by 30 seconds, but if he can have a quick field stop and no change of tires, he might just be able to hang on to the lead. But remember, his tires are going to be a bit scuffed. And he will be guaranteed to lose time in the pits. So here comes Jace Kinsai about to come into the pits here. Now he peels in. And it's now going to open the door for Ollie J to get something done. To take the lead away at the final stages. A win had eluded her in Fuji Speedway. The ever-shining Kikirara Vivi looking down onto her driver, Ali J, was done a very good job. I mean, the fact that, based on my experience, both of them sound like each other. They sound alike. And they have, the personalities are also pretty much similar. But it doesn't matter. Jace Kinsai is currently in his pit box. Ali J is currently in the main straight. Kinsai hasn't gotten out. Ali J still barreling through. Kinsai still hasn't gotten out. And it will be Ali J who goes up into the lead with 3 laps to go. But it might still be Kinsai who goes up into P2. Due to how far Maserati and Dak Patterson is. So, Patterson will not be in the podium. Some crazy stuff here. But as it stands right now with this win, Ali J will take the championship lead. Jace Kinsai will, however much he tries, he will be out of title contention. Masaraido, having already been out of title contention, will at least do kind of okay. Dak Patterson in P4. That will be his best result of the season so far. Rudy will also be out of title contention as it stands here. Ryu in P6. Right now, the ones that we need to pay attention are the ones who are currently in the top 5 in the championship. Sami Ake is currently down in P15. And as far as Shinozaki is down in P26. Seirin, on the other hand, down in P25. That's almost the championship wrapped up. Which only means Samiaki will be the only contender who, which will mean that Karashio and Ali J will go head-to-head for the Hololive GT3 title coming into tomorrow. At the Mashchev, who has also retired from this race. Shango is doing pretty okay, kind of. Fumi will only be good enough to salvage just a single point. Bogger with another retirement will also not help his cause even further. So we're now about to start the final lap of this race. We do have a bit of a tangle here. Rudy against the lap car of Duciem. He's currently in P29. He's also going to be out of title contention. This is going to be one of the greatest dominant championships between 2 drivers, which is obviously going to come on until the end. And Tanara will try to fight for that P10. Speaking of which, I need to double check onto Shango, who I believe is currently... Wait a second. Where's Shango? He's only had 5 retirements, all of them due to engine failure. Oh yeah, Shango is down in P20 and is also going to be out of title contention. Hanami Kiriko will also be out of title contention. Another valiant effort from her, Nakamura as well. As it stands right now, there will only be 5 drivers left in the hunt for the Hololive GT3 title, as the final lap has already flown for Ali J. I mean, we did mention this earlier about Jace Kinsai. He hasn't had enough fuel to go until the end of this race, so he might have to go for some fuel saving. He didn't do any fuel saving, so we were expecting him to pit, so he will pit, has already pitted. But for Kikirara Vivi, the FG Roadster is going to continue manifesting itself into a Flow Glow ride But this time, it'll be in a number 51 for Kikirara VV, driven by Ali J, who have had multiple chances of a race win be squandered for some reason. But this time, it will be different. Ali J only has 2 corners and a straight to go to seal off this win for Kikirara VV. And right now, Ali J has only the straight line to contend with, and with that, Ali J, Vivi, you gotta say that to Ali J as she wins race 1 of the finale 500 at Fuji Speedway. Jace Kensai will look to cross the line in P2. And Masaraido will also secure a very solid podium for him as well. And next up, it will be Dak Patterson, who will be crossing the line in a very respectable P4. For all but 5 of these drivers, the hope for a championship has now evaporated, including the defending champion, which is now going to just be a reigning champion, Ai Nakamura. She will pass the torch to the next driver. Rudy finishes P5. And Taro will bring home a solid P6 for his resume with an amazing comeback drive. Labradores in P7. P8, Mohamed Cashew. And Mohamed Cashew in car number 3. Lorenzo Ricci will bring home P9, and that is a collision at the end of the race, but it probably doesn't matter as the cars have already crossed the line. Bright spot and otherwise poor season for Lexus, but that doesn't matter anyway. With Iskaji Jamaica left setting up the finishing off the spot in the top 10. Rustin Karasho, Vladimir Damashnev, Raymond Gonzalez out of the points, Chuck Rizzo, Nakamura out of the points. Alright, so we're gonna take some time to score the results here. Ollie J, congratulations to her for winning the race here in Fuji, race 1 of the finale 500 in Fuji. With her being joined by Jace Kinsai in P2 for Takane Louis and Masaraido P3 for Todoroki Hajime. Dak Patterson finishes P4 for Isaki Ryona, with Rudy P5 for Mizumiya Su. That makes 4 device class cars in the top 5. And Tanaro 6, Labradores 7 for Okaya Matsu respectively. Kasha P8 for Watame. Richie P9 for Marine. And Sakaji Mikanela finishes 10 for Sakuramiko. Cal Gibbons finishes 11 for Roboco. Nakamura, the defending champion, becomes the reigning champion as she gets P12 for Hachama. Samiaki 13 for Fubuki. Rio 14 for Ayame. Miofa, Jake Goodwin in P15. Martinez in P16 for Kenzoku. Raji Kazuki 17 for Yuzuki Choko. Joey 18 for Raden, Chongo 19 for Ichijo Ririka, and Rilu P20 for Rindo Chihaya. Lexi Bowen finishes 21st for Shirogane Noel. Oh, by the way, Rilu is the first driver a lap down. Josh Asahi, Hanami Kiriko, Yukihara Toka, and Serid finished 22 from 22nd to 25th. Asahi for Koyori, Kiniko Kiriko for Luna, Toka for Lami, Serid for Kanade. Shionozaki in his Hololive GT3 debut for Pecora finishes 26 with Wizard 27 for Inagami Korone. Sakura in 28th, Lucian 29th, and Hofumi rounds out the top 30. Which I'm being reminded that we need to score the results here. Here are the drivers who have failed to score points. Raymond Rosales, So Byung-eun, Momashaki Reza, Ed Sky, who have finished this race. Aqua Zero and Vlasa Damasha for engine failures on lap 8. Marcin Karashi was had engine failures on lap 5. And then Bog and Cameron Riba, who had engine failures on lap 4. that being said, we're going to take a look into the standings. So we got Callum Gibbons in 11th, Nakamura in 12th, Sami Ake in P13. P13, Hojisono Rio is in P14, which is his best result of the season, mind you. P15, Jake Goodwin for Okami hardly his worst race, but it is a pretty quiet race. I wouldn't expect any different from Goodwin. 16th place going to Jake Martinez for Tokiyami Towa. Still okay for him. Roger Kaczynski 17th for Yuzuki Choco. And then Joey 18th for Jufute Raden. Shoungo 19th for Ririka. And P20 goes to Ri Liu. So many last lap passes, but we do need to focus on a few of the main storylines, so apologies on that one. Lexi Bowen, of course, finished in P21st, with 22nd going to Haname Keriko, who had gained a position on the last stages of this race. Yukara Toka finishes in 23rd for Lamy. And then Seirin. Oh wait. Sorry. I got the wrong one. Joshua Zahi actually finished in 22nd. Hanami Kiriko finished 23rd. Toka finished in 24th. And 25th goes to Seirin. Shinozaki finishes inside the points, which is a solid effort for him. 27 goes to Osner Wizard, who will still be dead last in the standings. Misaki Sakura had a potential, but could not get it done despite Aski reviving the use of the Origin Idol outfits. 29th, Maverick Duciem for Omar Polka. And then Hofumi as the last driver to score points. 5, 7, 3, 6, 35, 64, 81, 76, 78, 854, 31, 31, 59, 11, 56, 12, 46, 36. All right. Wait. All right. So it looks to me that we have our accurate readings for the championship standings. All right. So let's take a look at the championship standings as we have concluded our penultimate Hololive GT3 race of the season. So as you can see here, Ali J now has the surprise championship lead. So again, congratulations to her over Rasen Karashi, who has had a very horrible luck as he suffers his first DNF of the season. I feel like since Okayama Race 2, I feel like the season's starting to properly unravel for him. Samiake will look to also fight for the championship, being having 300 points behind Ali J. Seri and Goyena needs to Seri needs a podium to have a chance of winning the championship next race, and Goyena, or rather Shinozaki, is gonna need to win the next race and hope that Ali J does not score any points. Kurashu only needs a potential P5. Actually, sorry. He does need a P16 minimum to challenge Ali J for the title. Of course, with, things happening as it is right now. We just don't know how it's gonna play out. And here we are going to also list out the changes in the championship running order. Alright, so with that out of the way, we are just gonna take a look at the remaining drivers in the championship standings. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. So yeah, so here's the updated standings. Please take a read here. Is it just me or have the... Oh wait, I haven't closed this one. Alright, so we're just gonna take a look here into the championship standings. So we now only have 5 drivers left in the championship battle. And we have Ali J currently leading by 90 points over Caraccio. We also have Sami Akese and Daniel Goyena being fringe contenders. Sami Akese needs a P5. Yeah, I know. That's what 400-point swing does to you. Anyways, Sami Akese needs a P5 or above to challenge Ali J for the title. So he needs P3 minimum. And the Goyena, or rather, sorry, let me just edit this one. Eri Shinozaki will need a win to at least be within contention for the title. But whatever the case is, Ali J will be the driver to beat for this Hololive GT3 battle for the fifth series title. But we'll see how it goes in the final race of the season. We'll start at the same time as we do today at 3 p.m. Japan time. So hopefully everyone won't be able to miss it. With that out of the way, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning into today's stream. My name is Momashazar Reza in the commentary booth. And we hope you have enjoyed this entertaining Hololive GT3 race in Fuji Speedway. We'll see you tomorrow for our final race of the season and potentially Hololive GT3 as a championship, with one more race to decide the champion. We hope everyone will be there to watch. With that being said, thank you everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.